Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. So, today I am filming my wrap-up for the month of June. I will already tell you that I failed hard. However, in my defense, the month of June threw quite the curveball at the end of the month. My Nana, my father's mother, passed away on the 21st. Very unexpectedly. So kind of threw me for a loop. So I did not get done all the reading that I wanted. Which we already knew I had a chunky TBR to begin with, right? So, with that being said, let's take a peek at this lovely stack of books. And then we'll talk about what I've read and what I haven't read. This was our stack of TBR. Right? Okay. I just dropped them everywhere. And the books that, there's not that many books that I didn't even touch, right? Okay, so, of the books that I didn't even start reading, we've got Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim and Witches Steeped in Gold, which, yes, I was technically supposed to read this because it was a rollover from May, but that's okay, because I can just put it back on the shelf and I will attempt it again another time. So, out of our 8 books, only 2 of them I did not read any of it. And then of the books I completed, we have City of Ghosts, All the Stars and Teeth, Gideon the Knight, Stalking Jack the Ripper, and Sing Me Forgotten. Yes, I have read Stalking Jack the Ripper earlier this year, but for whatever-a-thon, there was a prompt for a comfort reread, and Stalking Jack the Ripper was the winner. And, lastly, of the books that I didn't finish, but I definitely have started, Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. I am just a smidgen past halfway, and I will most likely finish this tonight, because it's getting to one of those parts where you don't want to put it down because it's getting too good. Does that make sense? So, which I can't tell you what goes on in this book without spoiling the other books. So, Witchland series by Susan Dennard. You got Safi, the Truth Witch, Isolde, the Thread Witch. And there's a 20-year truce, and the world is going to break out in war. The 20-year truce has come to an end. So, that's basically the tiniest synopsis I can give of that. City of Ghosts. Cassie is the girl's name. Yes, Cassandra. Cassidy Blake had a near-death experience, and now she can pull back the veil between the living and the dead. And her parents are paranormal investigators, and so she interacts with the paranormal. I gave this, what did I rate this? Hold on. Alright, so, handy dandy reading journal. City of Ghosts, we rated 5 stars. So, we'll set that. I'm running out of spaces to put things. You'll set that there. After City of Ghosts, I can't remember what I read in order, so we'll just go down the pile. Next, we have All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is about Amora Montara, the princess of Visidia, and she's an animancer, meaning that she is a master of souls. Like, that's what her magic is soul magic. And her coronation day doesn't go as planned and ends up having to enlist the help of a pirate, a stowaway, and a mermaid in order to save her kingdom. So that is the story. I rated this 4 stars. It was one of those that it took a bit to get going, but once it got going, it got good. And I'm definitely buying the second book in the series. I thoroughly enjoyed it, for sure. Okay. I don't know if the clip between this one and the other one is the same camera angle, because I had to move my stuff. So, sorry if it's not. So, All the Stars and Teeth. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like it's going to become a brand new favorite, so it didn't get the 5-star. But still, I enjoyed it. Next, we have Gideon the Ninth by Tamzin Muir, which the blurb on the front best explains the story. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted Gothic palace in space. We all know that I don't like sci-fi, but I like magic. But there was just enough, like, the sci-fi wasn't overly blaring, if that makes sense. It was just enough to make it a sci-fi. So, I absolutely loved this book. Absolutely loved it. Gideon, who's there on the cover, reminds me of Deadpool, like with the humor and the banter and whatnot, and this love-hate, this like huge hate relationship between Gideon and Harrowhawk is hilarious. And if you enjoy the whole enemies to friends trope, it's worth it. I know some people didn't like it because it's too descriptive. You get lost in the way they describe things. But for me, I loved the descriptions. The descriptions were what pulled me in to the entire story. They made it worth reading. And the amount of anatomical correctness when referring to bones made me very happy, because I have a degree in life science. So when a book takes that extra step, it makes my scientist heart happy. So I tend to like paperback more than hardcover, and I don't like when my series books don't match. So I have pre-ordered Harrow the Ninth, which is the next book in this series. The paperback is not coming out till the end of, like, the later half of this year, but I don't mind waiting for it. If I wanted to listen to the audiobook, I totally could and get away with it. But yeah, I think I might be a converted. I might be, team sci-fi now after that. So, next. Reread of Stalking Jack the Ripper. Oh wait, Gideon the Ninth got 5 stars. Gideon the Ninth is arguably definitely a new favorite. So, I highly recommend it. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. Audrey and Thomas are investigating the Jack the Ripper murders, and of course, this being a reread, I already know what happens in the story, so it wasn't all that surprising to me. Were there some things in the book now that I should have picked up the first time I read it to tell me who Jack the Ripper was? Yes, there definitely should have, but myself did not notice them. However, I forgot how insufferable Audrey Rose is the first bit in the series. because she very much has the "I'm not like other girls" thing nonstop. Ugh, nonstop. And you just want to smack her upside the head. But then she gets better. So, I enjoyed it. Again, on the reread, it's still going to be a favorite. And it's still a 5-star. Like, it's going to go up here on my list of these are my all-time favorites. This is where I put my current my books as I finish them and need to film a wrap up. They get stacked here. So, yeah, maybe sometime I will do a bookshelf tour, even though I don't have that many books. Lastly, of the books that I have read is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica Olsen. So in this book you have Isda, who is a gravois, meaning she can manipulate people's memories, but also steal their memory elixir, which is this golden stuff on the front, which they're supposed to be killed at birth. And then you have Fendois, who can steal the elixir but can't manipulate memories. It's a Phantom of the Opera retelling, so that gives you the basis of what happens. This book and I have an interesting relationship. I rated it 3 stars, which this book was our BTS reading prompt for Kim Tae-young, or V, because I think he would do absolutely phenomenal. Oh, sorry, I kicked my tripod. He would do absolutely phenomenal if he was the voice of Phantom. He just has that range and that vocal ability, and yes. And also the 2021 reading challenge, because this was a book picked for me. I laid out some books and asked my cousin Natalie to pick one, and this is what she picked. So at least we doubled up on prompts for our reading challenges. But anyways, this book and I struggle with it because it has that whole trope of someone feeling invisible to society, and then finally society starts to accept them or recognize the person for what they are okay with it, who they are, and then they start treating the people that were nice to them pre that like poo. It's got that. And Ista, the main character, I didn't like her. It wasn't the fact that she was a gravois that I didn't like. Sorry, I kicked my tripod again. It was some bits about her personality that was just turned me off. So, it's a 3-star. I would recommend it to other people. I liked it, but it's not something I would reread. And honestly, I question if I'm even going to keep my copy. This is probably unhaulable. Because I've read it once and it doesn't hold that urge to reread. So, I don't even have my total of average pages. Total pages, average rating, anything like that. But we successfully read 5 books so far. I'm finishing this tonight. So we'll say 6. We read 6 books. 2 we didn't get to. They're just going to go back on the shelf. And at some point, we will tackle them. And still, comment down below if you have any ideas for punishments, any ideas for prompts that I can add. I did have somebody comment earlier on another video a punishment of keeping track of how many times a coin drops in a slot, and if it drops too many times in one specific slot, you add a roll, which I liked that. And our TBR for this month is Daughter of the Pirate King, Bromance Book Club, and Go the Distance. I am so glad it is only 3 books based off from Trebrinko, because 4th of July weekend is this weekend. And then the following weekend is my grandmother's services. And then the following weekend is my son's birthday party and my cousin getting married. So we got boom, boom, boom. One thing after another, after another, after another. So 3 books is going to be nice. However, I got something after I filmed Trebrinko that I'm going to want to read, and that is Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard, because I'm going to need to know what happens with our witches and all of the witchlands. And yes, this is not the last book in the series from my understanding. There's another one coming out next year, but this is Isolde's book. You can tell by the cover that is Isolde, and so that's her book, and she's my favorite in the series, along with Adeline. So this is getting read in July. So our TBR is at 4 books. And that's still not counting our 2021 reading challenge book. So we gotta think of one of those. Yeah. Fun. I love how I'm sitting here filming a wrap-up, talking about next month's TBR, and realizing I need to add books to it after I was all excited because it was so short. So, if you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment down below book recommendations, punishments or prompt ideas. What K-pop group would you like me to do next for my challenges? Because after July, I only have to read a book for Jin, and then I am done BTS. So we have prompts for EXO, Monsta X, NCT, Shiny, Super Junior, Super M, and I think that's it. Or give me other groups to make prompts for, and I'll make them. So, anyways, now that I've done rambling, and I'm really sorry for the bad lighting, I am literally recording this at like 9 o'clock at night. So, and hence why I look like a hot mess. Anyways, until next time, remember, you are loved, and you are valid.